Okay, I have done the crochet reinforcement on the right front, on the right side of my steek. And you can see that I don't know if you can see, it'll start being clear in a little bit when I do the other side, but it's starting to pull away a little bit from that. You can see that we've grabbed those stitches and it started to pull away a little bit, which is exactly what we want. I did do a little bit of chain stitching at the end here. I just chained like 3 or 4 stitches just to give me a little bit of extra wiggle room. It doesn't really matter. So I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna do the left side. And so left side goes from the neckband all the way down to the hem. So I think this side's a little bit easier because you can see a little bit better. So I'm gonna do the same deal and I'm gonna make a slip knot. And I'm gonna make all the crocheters twitch. Stick that in there. And I'm gonna start and I'm gonna anchor it on the other side, just like we did at the bottom, just in the other direction. It's this, obviously if you're watching this, you're probably a knitter. It's the same directionality you do button bands. Whoops, what a mess. Okay, we're gonna tighten that up. Okay, there we go. And we're gonna fold and we're gonna just go ahead and we're gonna, the first stitches can be a little tight. This really probably would be better if I was using a smaller crochet hook, but I am not. So there. And we're gonna do there. There we go. It takes a minute to get the rhythm of it. Honestly, it's forgiving. It just is. Like there's a point on at the hem where I sort of went over that center stitch, and honestly, it's gonna be fine. The steek's gonna be cut and then it's gonna be whip stitched down. And so it's not going to be super exposed. And like, you don't really, I hope not, you don't pull at the like button bands of your garments that much, I don't think. I don't know. I don't really button my cardigans anyway. I mainly wear them unbuttoned. And it's just not, I'm just not pulling on it that much. Also, this yarn will it basically felts together. So the more you wear it, the steek will kind of felt. So it's pretty secure. I have not had any failures. So I'm just going to go down and just do this just like we did up. You're going to do it the other direction. It's kind of soothing and it is fun. And I'll show you when I get a few more stitches in so you can see what I mean when I talk about the crochet reinforcement pulling the center of the steek apart, because it really does make your life so much easier because you can actually see to cut it. But I'm going to do a little bit more. Oops. And yep, it's lumpy and weird and my tension is wonky and I promise it's gonna be okay. This is another reason to block it before we keep going. It really does help. So you can see, I'm actually gonna go ahead and I'm going to pull the guide out so you can see a little bit better. Riveting stuff. So you can see, I'm gonna zoom in. This is the good stuff. So this is where we're gonna cut. So you can see how when you crochet reinforce it, it pulls that center column stitches apart, and so you have this thread in the middle, and that's where you cut. And so it's actually really easy. Like you don't have to, if you've done a decent job with this, you don't have to guess. And you can see why I want to use contrasting, because something that is not great is if you're cutting your steek and you accidentally nick the crochet reinforcement, and it really is just so much better if it's a different color. So the way that this is going to go is when we cut it open, and we'll cut from the hem up, but when we cut it open, this will fold back in itself just naturally, like you know how stockinette rolls and it's obnoxious? That's what's going to happen. And this column of purl stitches, it'll kind of roll over onto itself. And I'm getting ahead of myself, but you know, whatever. And button bands are going to be picked up like right in this column of stitches right next to the purl stitch on the other side of our steek. So that's what's going on. So I'm just going to go back and I'm going to crochet to the bottom, and then I will block it and we will take a little bit of a break.